Hello and welcome to the first episode of FIFA 17 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. Now in this series I'm going to attempt to go from Division 10 in online seasons right up to Division 1, see if we can win it and see what else we can do with the side. So normally in these sort of series you'll see a generic team, whether it be Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, or people will open packs and build the team up that way and using the coins they got from the wins to invest in their team. But I'm going to go with something different. I'm going to stick with one team. And I'm going to use a certain country, and that country is Denmark.
Good day.
And some of you think, why Denmark? Well, I'll explain why. So at the end of last year I picked up a book called The Danish Dynamite, which is this one. And that's written by Rob Smythe, Lars Eriksen and Mike Gibbons. So to give you a bit of backstory on the book, it is about Danish football. Very briefly, it talks about the early foundations of it, and then it runs through the 70s, the 80s, and then the 1992 Euros, which Denmark won, and they had that fantastic kit that is now worth a lot of money. So just to give you an idea what the book's about, apart from my explanation, I'll give you a quick read of the blurb. So the headline on the back of the book is, "They were a team of rock stars in a polyester kit. Hailing from a country with little football history and a population of just 5 million, the Denmark side of the 1980s was one of the last truly iconic international football teams. Although they didn't win a trophy, they claimed something much more enduring, glory, and in huge quantities. Nicknamed Danish Dynamite, they were a bewitching fusion of futuristic attacking football, effortless Scandinavian cool and laid-back living, and they were everyone's second team in the mid-1980s. Danish Dynamite is a story of zombies, Denmark's biggest selling pop single, the greatest ever World Cup qualifier, and one of football's most remarkable kits. It is a joyous celebration of one of the most life-affirming teams the world has ever seen." Now, as you can see at the bottom, it's described by When Saturday Comes as, "Danish Dynamite is a wonderful read and an exhilarating nostalgia trip." And I picked this book up for just under £10, and I would highly recommend you buying it. It's a really good book, really good read. It is, I think, around just over 200 pages. So it's a great book, and I really enjoyed it. I'm sure you will too. Anyway, moving on from that, I'm going to show you the team that I'm going to be using for this series. And the formation we're going to go for is the 4-3-2-1. And I love this formation on FIFA. In goal, we go for Kasper Schmeichel, the Leicester City goalkeeper. He cost me 2,500 coins and his stats are really good. The main one I like is the 84 reflexes. He can pull off loads of good saves, as you'll see in a couple of games that I'm going to show you at the end of this episode, and I think he's a really good keeper, and if you're doing a Premier League side I'd recommend going for him as well. At left back we head to Spain and we pick up the Real Betis defender Rameses B. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's a silver card, but he's so good. He only cost me 700 coins, but his pace and power is just ridiculous. He's just so good, catches up with so many players, and he just easily bounces off the ball. At left centre back we go with the former Aston Villa defender George Akore. He only cost me 750 coins, he's 6 foot, he's got 79 pace, 74 defending and 83 physical, and again he's a really good defender, fast, powerful, and can win the ball off most strikers. Next to him we've got the Fenerbahce defender Simon Kjaer. He cost me 700 coins, he's 6'2", so he can win the headers in the air. He's got a high defending work rate, and again he's got some nice stats, defending 83 and the physical 80. So again he's really strong, and that is a really important attribute in FIFA 17. At right back we've got Henrik Dalsgaard. I hope I pronounced that right. He cost us 300 coins, he's another silver card. He's 6'4", but he has 84 pace, and that's just ridiculous for someone so tall who can win the headers in the air. And to back that up, he's got 70 physical, and again, like I mentioned before, physical and pace is just so important on this year's game, and my back four has got plenty of that. Moving into midfield, and the first of the three midfielders is Daniel Vass, the Celta Vigo midfielder. He was a right winger last year on FIFA 16, so he's had a position change. He's kept similar stats, which is really pleasing. He only cost me 700 coins, and he's got really good stats, and he backs up the next player, which is the most expensive player in this team, which is expected. He's the Premier League central midfielder, and that is Christian Eriksen. Now he cost me 13,000 coins because I got him right at the start of the game. He's got a 5-star weak foot, and I think he's one of the best central midfielders on the game because he can play the through balls to the striker to latch onto, but he can also smash it in from range. And next to him, I know he's got an inform, but we're sticking with his original version, and we're going for Mike Jensen of Rosenborg in Norway. He is an absolute animal. Like, he is just so good. I'm surprised he didn't get a gold card. He was a silver card last year, similar stats, and he was fantastic then. There's a lot of people raving about him. I think his inform card at the moment goes for about 50,000 coins from when I checked the other day. I won't be able to afford that yet, but he's just so good. 80 pace, a high physical stat as well. Really good player and fits in well with my midfield. Now we move on to the forward line, and at left forward we're going for Middlesbrough's Victor Fisher. He moved there in the summer from Ajax. He was a gold card last year if I remember correctly. I remember he had an inform which I used towards the end of FIFA 16. But he's got a silver card this year, but he's retained some decent stats. He cost me 1,500. He's got a 4-star weak foot, and he's got 4 stats over 70, which is fairly good for a silver player. And as you can see in the first couple of games, which will be appearing shortly, he's done really well for me so far. Moving to the striker position, and we get Martin Braithwaite of Toulouse, and he cost me 750 coins. And if you can see his record, that's before I've started this series. That's just playing online single matches occasionally, foot champions. He has 24 goals in 9 games. He is an absolute beast. He is just ridiculous. He has got pace, he's got power, he's got 4-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and I love playing with him. And then finally, to complete the starting 11, another player that moved in the summer from Midtjylland in Denmark to Celta Vigo, so he's a teammate of Daniel Vass, is Pione Sisto. And he's another silver card, 750 coins, 4-star weak foot and skills, but he's got a high attacking work rate, and his pace and dribbling is very good. So yeah, that's the starting 11, and we move into the bench now. So quick go for this quickly. So we've got Lossell, the sub goalkeeper. We've got Jorgensen, who plays for Feyenoord in Holland. Then we've got Sviatchenko from Celtic, hope I pronounced that right. Then we've got 2 Copenhagen players in Delaney, who scored a really good goal in the Champions League the other week, and Ankersen. And then we go for another player who's featured for Ajax recently in Lucas Anderson. And then to complete the bench, we go for a 65 rated silver, but he's got quite good stats for that. And we go for Vendel Bow, again, hope I pronounced that right. I think I have, but just checking. So that completes the 18 players that I'm going to use at the start. There's a few players that I'm going to show now that I'm going to look to pick up in the future if I can afford them, and they are the 3 Legends cards. They feature quite heavily in the Danish Dynamite book, and it's Peter Schmeichel, Michael Laudrup and Brian Laudrup. Together they'll cost way over 1 million coins, so I won't be able to afford them yet, but hopefully I'll be able to pick them up in the future and include them in my team. I'd probably go for 2 Laudrups in central midfield, keep Braithwaite up top, and obviously replace Casper with his dad Peter. So let's go into the gameplay now. Let's see how we fare on the first game. So it was a bit of a weird first game. As you can see from the team, he had an odd bronze side. I'm not too sure his thinking behind that. As you can see, he wasn't interested in playing. He just kind of left his players to do it. I think he must have turned his control off and went somewhere. Thought I might as well start the series with some goal scoring form for Braithwaite, just to show how good he is. I know he's not playing against anyone, but you can see his sort of pace and power there as he's finishing. And then at 3-0, I was like, is there any point in wasting my fitness? So I decided to kick it back to Dalsgaard at right back, turn my controller off, and just waited for half time. Half time came, look at the stats, I had 95% possession because I just kept hold of it. I had 5%, which is from the kickoffs. And into the second half, it was a similar situation. He wasn't there, so I was like, well, I'm not wasting my time. So I just gave it Dalsgaard again, turned my controller off. Got to about the 82nd minute, I was like, I'm going to try and do something for this first episode, so try to get Kasper Schmeichel a goal. So I put out an all-out attack. Kasper made the dribble all the way upfield, he got into the area and he fluffed the chance. And I was like, wow, well done Kasper. So we try again, go upfield again, through one-on-one with the keeper. I'm like, come on, take your time. And no, the keeper saves it this time. Get the corner, try and play it back to Kasper Schmeichel, but the full-time whistle blows. But we got the 3 points, we got the win, and that gave us 3 of the 12 points that we need to win the title. Boring game really, as you can see I turned my controller off, just waited for it to take down, but we got the win, which is the most important thing to set us up for game number 2. This guy had quite a good team. He had Courtois in net, he had Kurt Zouma at centre back alongside legend Desai. He had Coutinho in midfield and he had Romelu Lukaku up top, so I thought it'd give me a tough game, but it was far from it. We had a really good start, some nice play on the edge of the area, saw Fisher getting behind, slam home for 1-0. Following that we had 3 good chances to double the lead. First, Mike Jensen from a corner comes out to him on the edge of the area, gets a shot away on the half volley, deflected narrowly wide. Then Martin Braithwaite gets played in, fires over. And then the next chance, I think it's probably the worst miss I've ever had on FIFA. Braithwaite again gets played in, goes one-on-one with Courtois. Courtois saves it, it bounces up, it's an open net, Braithwaite's open, and he headed it over. But anyway, we made up for them mistakes and we made it 2-0 minutes later. Pione Sisto broke through defence, took it onto the edge of the area and calmly placed it past Courtois for 2-0. Now after we scored the second, I sort of switched off and Coutinho went on an amazing run from the kickoff. Took it past 3 or 4 players before smashing it in from 25 yards. Schmeichel could do nothing about it and he reduced the deficit to 1 goal. But then I was like, well, I need to get that 2-goal lead back, so I went on the attack. Braithwaite had a chance, but it's saved by Courtois. However, it wasn't long before we got that all-important 3rd goal. It was a lovely move. Fisher into Braithwaite, back to Fisher, pulled it back for the left-back Demisi, and he calmly slotted it past Courtois to make it 3-1. So we made it 3-1, that's how it stayed until half-time. We were on top, we're doing well, the scoreline reflected how we were playing. But from the start of the second half, I wanted another goal, so I sent Braithwaite on another attack. But unfortunately, he couldn't take his opportunity and Courtois saved it, palmed it away for a corner. Then my opponent went up the other end after a defensive mix-up and he got away from our defence. Lukaku had the shot, but Kasper Schmeichel pulled off a really good save to keep it at 3-1. Responded well to that chance as we grabbed a 4th goal. Braithwaite picked up the ball on the edge of the area, back to goal, a lovely turn past Zuma, breaks into the block, smashed it into the back of the net for 4-1. The Toulouse striker then added his name to the score sheet again shortly after, again picking up the ball with his back to goal. He was further out this time, another nice turn past Zuma. Zuma's trying to get back at him with his pace and power, but Braithwaite brushes him off and curls it into the top corner past Courtois to make it 5-1. With around 17 minutes left, my opponent had another chance. Mahrez, who is really good on this FIFA, I couldn't deal with his pace. He took it past my defence, but once again, Kasper Schmeichel came out, made himself big and made a really nice save to make sure we don't concede 1 in the game. We then grabbed the 6th goal to seal the win, make it 6-1, secure the 3 points. When Fisher plays a 1-2 with Braithwaite, gets into the area, takes his time, coolly slots it past Courtois, make it 6-1 and make sure we've got 6 points out of 6 heading into the next episode. Full-time whistle followed shortly after and the result was confirmed. 6-1 win there, as you can see on the screen. 6 points out of 6. We're now 3 points off promotion and 6 points off the title. Can we secure the title in the next episode? Make sure you tune in and find out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a quick like below. Comment on what you think of the team, where it can be improved. Have you used 4-3-2-1? What do you think of that formation? What other formations you've been experimenting with? Let us know if you think I should add any players in or give any other players a chance. Have you used any of the legends? Let me know how they've been performing for you. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Without further ado, let's get my career started. So the guy I'm going to try and create is sort of a similar to Kevin Owens mould. I just like his style. He's sort of the big guy, but he can also be quite acrobatic, so I'll be looking to unlock the top rope diver quite soon on in the career.